South America is one of the most wild and beautiful places in the world. So I'm off to Venezuela to do a little fishing.
Those are some serious trompers.
Visit some local wildlife, and generally have an electrifying experience in one of the strangest storms I've ever chased. On the northern coast of South America lies Venezuela. One of the most biodiverse countries in the world, Venezuela is home to an amazing variety of wildlife, expansive wilderness, and an unusual weather phenomenon, which of course I have to experience. My first destination is by far the best known natural wonder in the country, breathtaking Angel Falls. Towering nearly a kilometer in the air, it's a mesmerizing sight. But this well-known South American landmark is named after a North American. The famous Angel Falls, the highest waterfall in the world, wasn't even discovered until 1912 by Venezuelan explorer Ernesto Sanchez La Cruz, but he never published his findings. The outside world didn't find out about the place until 1933, when aviator Jimmy Angel flew over and shared his sightings with the world. 4 years later, in 1937, Jimmy Angel from Springfield, Missouri, became a legend when he unsuccessfully tried to land his plane on top of the falls. And then, incredibly, managed to climb down 979 meters with his wife and another passenger and make an 11-day trek back to civilization. His exploits made these falls world famous. And I'm making the journey to see them for myself. But this place is about as remote as it gets. It is not easy to get to Angel Falls. Several flights, 4-hour boat ride, and then at least an hour's worth of hiking on the heavy rocks. But it's worth it. 980 meters from top to bottom. That's almost a full kilometer of vertical drop. It's so high that the water that comes over Angel Falls doesn't even make it all the way to the ground as water droplets. It becomes atomized from the high winds and comes down as a light mist. Pretty wild. Jimmy Angel's abandoned plane stayed on top of the falls for 33 years. In 1970, it was moved by helicopter to the city of Ciudad Bolivar, where it was restored and proudly remains on display in front of the airport. But Venezuela is not just home to legendary places. The jungles of South America also sport some legendary creatures. I've relocated to the Los Llanos region, and this place is known for its wildlife, and there's one species in particular that I'm looking for. And it's big. Venezuela boasts not only some of the most incredible natural phenomena in the world, but the rich biodiversity here means it's home to some of the biggest reptiles in the world, including the largest snake species on the planet, the Anaconda. Species here can grow up to 6 to 9 meters long, and there's a $50,000 reward if someone can capture one that's more than 30 feet long. That's what I'm going to try to do today. Wish me luck. But to catch one, you've got to find one. And that's not easy in this maze of hidden waterways, thick jungle and marsh.
On land, the anacondas are not very graceful. They're slow, but in the water, that's a different story entirely. They're fast, they're sleek, and they are the top predator in this jungle.
During my search for a giant snake, I encountered just about every type of water predator you can imagine, like these freshwater dolphins and caimans. And they're all looking for a meal. Even the turtles here are armed and dangerous.
Yeah, there we go. That'll scratch you up real good. Trying to find these snakes in the rainy season is a real challenge. During the dry period, when there's less water, there's fewer places for them to hide. But we just got a hot tip from one of the locals that there's an anaconda nearby that just finished a big meal, and if we're lucky, it's still there. A few days ago, a 5-meter-long anaconda was spotted somewhere around here. And if I get lucky, it's still around here. This is not going to be easy to find.
But eventually, we locate the snake, deep in the jungle.
It's in here. It's big, really big. It's hard to see. The female? It's about this thick around. All right, this is gonna get crazy really quick, I think. So the plan right now, we're clearing away some of the brush so we can get at the snake, pull it out so we can show you how big this thing actually is. That is the biggest snake I have ever seen. It is gonna take a crew of guys to get this thing out of here. The body is thicker around than my thigh. This is the snake we were hoping to find, the one that we got the tip off from. It's about a 5-meter female green anaconda. This is gonna be tricky. One guy has to hold the head, and then everybody else piles in and grabs a piece to control. No problem. I'm gonna grab it behind that. I'm gonna grab it here with both hands.
The snake won't be harmed, but I'm not so sure about me. I'm in Venezuela, about to get up close and personal with the biggest snake species in the world, the anaconda. This 5-meter-long female is unbelievably powerful
I'm going.
and has a mouthful of very sharp teeth.
See. Hey, I got the pointy end, guys.
We managed to wrestle her out into the open for a better look. This thing is massive, probably weighing over 70 kilos.
So 5 meters, it's about 17 feet. Wow. Anacondas are the largest of all the snake species, and even though reticulated pythons from Africa will grow longer, they don't have the thickness, the girth that these snakes have. It's kind of like comparing a giraffe to an elephant. Sure, a giraffe is taller, but it's certainly not the bigger animal. And this is a big example. Ooh, listen to her hiss. Yeah, she's not too happy. We're gonna put her back in the water again right away because she's in the middle of a shed and she's not too happy right now, but we're not gonna hurt her. Everybody's clear? Yeah. Okay. There she goes.
I'm very comfortable around snakes, but this next creature gives everyone, including me, the willies.
Okay, now it's time for me to turn my attention to one of the famous toothy fish from here in Venezuela. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Next to sharks, piranhas are probably the most maligned creatures in the water. Maybe for good reason. From the moment they're hatched, they are armed to the teeth. They're predators right from the beginning. They'll start off eating small insects, crustaceans, whatever they can sink their teeth into, so to speak.
Those are some serious chompers.
But are piranhas really the vicious man-eaters that they're made out to be? I think we've all seen one too many B-movies set in the Amazon. But there's only one way to know for sure. I'll have to put my money where their mouths are. This is a pond that is infested with piranhas. What do you think about swimming in this water? Do you think it's safe?
Well, it's not safe.
Would you swim in this water?
No.
You think
no.
it's not safe?
No safe.
Not safe.
It's a lotus piranha.
A lot of piranhas.
Yes.
Wow. They seem to be enjoying the appetizer. I hope I'm not the main course.
Oh! You can see them ripping huge pieces of this chicken apart, and then as the chicken drifts underwater, they're fighting for it. Look at those teeth. Going in.
This is the moment of truth, or tooth as the case may be. Now that I'm surrounded by the deadly fish, it'll only take seconds to find out if I'm right. There are literally thousands of piranhas in here. Not a single bite. You see? Humans and piranhas can coexist. If I had a cut on my finger or on one of my toes, a piranha could come, bite me, and then that would get more piranhas to come and attack, and then I could be a pile of bones within a matter of minutes. But right now, all is good. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! I got everything. Wait. Yeah. I got everything. I cannot believe that I just did that. It's one thing to know the science and the biology about these fish and understand that they're really not the man-eaters that some people think they are, but it's another thing entirely to jump into the water with thousands of them, not knowing if you're really going to come out. Okay, I can now say that I've done it, I'll never do it again. On to the next thing. I've come to Venezuela, and I'm on my way to the south shore of Maracaibo Lake, where I'm hoping to experience probably one of the most consistent weather phenomena in the world. The Catatumbo everlasting lightning storm is a semi-permanent storm. On 140 to 160 nights out of the year, a stationary storm forms where the Catatumbo River flows into Lake Maracaibo. It's believed that the storm is formed by a combination of cool air coming off the Andes and methane gas coming up out of the bog area. Like many places I explore, it's not easy to get there. After a long boat ride, I arrive in El Congo, a fishing village built entirely on the water, much like the more famous Italian city. It doesn't take that much of a stretch of the imagination to see why they compared this place with Venice
There's not a single road. Everyone gets from place to place by boat. It's the only way.
But the marshy water, which is so important to the people here, also creates a strange weather phenomenon found nowhere else on Earth. The decomposing plants and other matter create huge amounts of methane gas that rises up and mixes with winds from the Andes to create an almost continuous lightning storm. And it happens exclusively in this region. I travel out to a remote spot to get the best view of the storm.
Home for the night. I have a feeling when it gets dark here, it's going to get really, really dark. These stilted houses, or palafitos as they're called, offer the perfect vantage point to sit and just watch the lightning come in off Lake Maracaibo. And actually, the early explorers thought it looked so much like Venice, that's how Venezuela got its name. Little Venice, Venezuela.
As darkness descends over Lake Maracaibo, the generators kick in, and my traveling companions fix me some Venezuelan home cooking.
How are things going?
I think, yes, great.
Going good?
Well, you'll tell me later.
Two things Venezuela seems to have in abundance: meat
Looks good.
and bugs. Lots and lots of bugs.
I am getting eaten alive. The mosquitoes out here are so bad. My best friend tonight is going to be my mosquito repellent and my malaria medication. I do not want to get sick. And this is the perfect location to get sick. Swampy marshland, lots of mosquitoes, malaria-prone area. I've already been through dengue fever. I don't want to go through that whole nonsense again.
Like clockwork, the light show starts, as it does almost every night of the year. But these storms are not just a fascinating oddity. They're actually good for the Earth.
Wow! You really feel exposed out here on the lake, right in the middle of this intense display of nature. Oh, hear that? It's believed that the lightning from this Catatumbo event is the single largest replenisher of ozone in the entire world. It's hard to wrap your head around the concept that thunderstorms here in Venezuela can help contribute to replenishing the hole in the ozone layer in Antarctica. But it does.
The lightning appears to be subsiding, so I take the opportunity to get some much-needed shut-eye.
Good night.
But the storms of Catatumbo aren't done with me yet. Not by a long shot. I'm on Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela, where I've been blasted awake by a sudden and ferocious storm, with high winds, pounding rain, and plenty of lightning.
Okay, so there I was, enjoying my nice sleep in the hammock, listening to the thunder in the background, when the Catatumbo lightning storm turned into the Catatumbo hurricane. Wow! It just started blowing like mad. Oh, it's pouring.
where you don't have any difference between the flash and the bang. It was probably a couple hundred meters away. I would say the storm is close, really close, right over top. The corrugated tin roof in this building I'm in is just making a cacophony with this thick, heavy rain on top of it.
It's raining so hard, in fact, that our boat is in danger of being swamped. So our captain is braving the storm to go and bail it out.
Our boat skipper's mad. Jumped into the water, bailing out the boat. He's crazy. Whoa! What? Yeah. Totally a classic case of be careful what you wish for. Earlier today, I wanted the lightning to be closer. I'm not wishing that now. There's a significant danger of being struck by lightning here because we're up above the water, up on these stilts. A storm like this could literally last for hours. It's the unique atmospheric conditions that come together here that make this everlasting thunderstorm. It's just not the best place when you're right in the middle of it. At first I was thinking, it won't be too bad, it'll just rain for a while. And then I remembered, oh yeah, this is the Catatumbo everlasting storm. It's permanent. So I don't know if when this is going to end, or even if it's going to end.
After all these years of searching the world for weather phenomena, it's exciting to experience such an unusual event as the continuous lightning of Catatumbo. Because what could be better for a storm chaser than to be in the middle of one that's everlasting?